All right, guys, CPI data report is tomorrow, 1 hour before the market opens, and this is everything that you need to know, especially if you don't even know how to read a CPI data report. Don't worry, I have you covered in this, hopefully 5 to 6 minute video. Hopefully I'm not too loud for my neighbor to, interrupt my video here, but let me go ahead and just jump right into it. Even before we get started, one of the things that I did want to remind you is that this Friday, once again, you guys asked for it. I'm gonna make sure that we do it. Last Friday, we gave away $1,000 during our free live trading session. This Friday, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. If you haven't saved your spots will be limited. It's literally super simple. Click the first link in the description down below, watch one of my free live trading sessions, and also see me give away $1,000 cash. And again, you don't want to miss out on this one. If you haven't saved your spot, it's the first link in the description down below. So let's go ahead and just talk about what's this inflation report, right? This inflation report, for those that are unaware, is called the CPI data report. It's released every single month, and it pretty much just tracks inflation, right? If you guys have been keeping up with the Federal Reserve has been, fighting by raising interest rates, trying to really moderate inflation. Inflation was at a 40-year high, but it's come down quite a bit, right? We peaked, I think, at 9.1%, and right now we sit at 5%. So first off, what is the expectation for tomorrow, right? For those that are unaware, tomorrow we have the CPI and core CPI report, which is the inflation report on Wednesday, May 10th. I will be live streaming it for free on this YouTube channel. You guys killed it with the previous video and got it over 1,500 likes. I really do appreciate that. So that means 1 hour before the stock market opens, I will be waking up at 5:15 in the morning and going live for you guys, 5:15 Pacific Standard Time. So if you're in the East Coast, it's literally just 1 hour and 15 minutes before the stock market opens. I'm gonna make sure that I'm live prior, just to make sure that we answer any last minute questions. But I just wanted you guys to know that I have you covered. Hopefully I earn your thumbs up for that, and hopefully you can consider subscribing. So the overall expectation is 5%. That is the forecast. We currently sit at 5%. Now, how is it that these reports are released, and where can you find them? It's literally super simple. The official website is US Bureau of Labor Statistic, or bls.gov/CPI. These reports are a lot easier to read than what they look like. Trust me, I know it can be very daunting. There's a lot of information. They look super boring. It's very simple to understand. Overall CPI, again, it says all items index increased by 5%. That's overall CPI. And then there's core CPI. Core CPI is considered all items excluding food and energy. And again, the reason that they track core CPI is because the Federal Reserve understands that they cannot pretty much control the prices of food and energy, but they can moderate everything else by raising interest rates, right? As they raise interest rates, they make it less attractive for people like you and I to spend money, and for businesses to spend money, right? Because it's more expensive to borrow money. But supposedly, this should be coming to an end. So how is it that you read one of these reports? Now, there's an exact formula on how this is all actually added, right? Because there's this phrase that you see stated a lot, and it says like, for the past 12 months without seasonal adjustment, right? There's an exact formula on how they actually calculate the overall inflation rate. So it's not just, so the way that people normally see it is, this was the last CPI data report. The one that gets reported tomorrow is for the month of April, because April is finally done, and now it gets reported in the month of May. And then next month, right, May will be done, and then it gets reported in the following month, right? So last month, the month that got reported was March. And what they do is, again, there's an exact formula, so it's not just you take away the old one and you add the new one, but that's just a very simple explanation that I can give you. Now, if you do the math, it's not going to be exactly 5% if you take away the 1 and then you add the 0.1% increase, but that's really all it is, right? It's very close to it. Again, that's without the seasonal adjustment. But when you take away the previous month of March, right? This is March 2022. You take away that one, since that's no longer in the past 12 months, and then you add the new one. This is March 2023. That is the new one that just got added. Now, you might be asking the question, right? How is it that we saw such a big jump from 6% inflation all the way down to 5%? Well, when you begin to look at the numbers, that we took away a 1% increase that was incorporated in that formula and only added a 0.1% increase. Now it doesn't seem to be so confusing when you can obviously see that March of 2022 was a huge contributor to our inflation rate, kind of like June is, right? June and May of 2022 are make up a big sum of our current 5%. And this is why we said on our previous CPI data report that really, because now we're going to be focused on April, because April is going to be the one that is at 0.4%. But we can see that when we add April, as long as it's not too much of a difference from our previous April, right, then we should be relatively pretty close. But it's May and June where we can see our CPI data report or our inflation rate actually drop much more than what is expected. Now, when you go down to the line items, again, it's very, very simple to read. You can see all of the items here, food and energy, and then core CPI is everything excluding food and energy. For those that are unaware, really energy itself was one of the largest contributors to our inflation rate. And you can see that normally every single month as inflation has been going down, it's the ones that continue to see the biggest decrease. And you can see the line items right here. This is March. So the one that gets reported tomorrow is going to be a new line item, and it's going to say, instead of March, it's going to be April, right? And then it's going to go and explain to us month over month, did food see an increase or a decrease, and by how much? And then that line item is included, right? And then it goes down the list: food at home, food away from home, all the way down to medical care services. This is how the inflation report is released and how it's read. It's very simple. And again, the only thing that I'm not going into much detail is the actual formula on how this is all actually calculated, but they have, the actual formula for you right here if you actually want to learn a little bit more about that. But again, at the end of it, the report is the report, and the thing that is always most important is how the market reacts to the actual CPI data report. We've seen it many, many times that the report might come in better than expected, yet the market still drops, or the report comes in worse than expected, yet the market responds in a very positive way. It's not rocket science. Don't be super attached or super emotional. This is why I decided to go all the way down to just one share. I left myself with one share here. I left myself with just one share here. There's no reason to overcomplicate my trading or to try to be super hopeful when I do not know how the report is going to be released tomorrow, which is why I'm very excited. I closed out my trade, 16K on the day, very grateful for it. And I'm going to be going live with all of you guys for the CPI data report tomorrow. But again, it's all up to you guys. If you guys want to tune on in, it's going to be free. It's going to be on this YouTube channel. There's no reason that you can't tune on in unless, of course, you need to get that beauty sleep. I hope that it earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I hope to see some of you guys for our CPI data report tomorrow. And also, do not forget to save your free spot for our free live trading session, and also to see me give away $1,000 cash this Friday. And again, this is going to be the first link in the description down below. If you have any questions, feel free to message me via Instagram, and that's also linked in the description. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.